Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Now, this is the first video I have made in a while, so just bear with me. But for those of you who have seen what I look like, you know, this probably isn't a shock. Actually, it probably is, because it's been like a year since I've posted a video, so this is what I look like for those of you who are wondering. But anyways, we got a fish video here today. And this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while, but I was waiting for the new update to come out so I could have all the rods that are in the game currently. As of the, the Winter Village update. So, nothing in the Northern thing, because that hasn't come out yet, obviously. But, we're going to be ranking every single rod based on how good they are and how useful I think that they should be. Now, if you look here, you can see our beautiful tier list. I don't know if this is every rod. I added all the new rods to this list, so if there's any that are missing, you know, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. But this is like majority of the ones that people actually use, so we're gonna rank these rods, and I'm gonna be 100% honest based off what I see in these, and we'll also kind of go over where you can get every single rod. So the first rod that we have here is the Aurora rod. Now, the Aurora rod, I actually don't have that rod, but pretty much you have the chance to catch a mutated fish with the Aurora enchant. So, for those of you who want to know where you can find all the stats on the rods and stuff, this is the place to go. It's called fish.fandom.com, alright? If you go to there, or just search up Fish Wiki, and it'll be the first thing that pops up, alright? So, where you can get the Aurora rod, you can get it in Vertigo, okay? And the thing is, with this rod, you need to have an Aurora Borealis event happening, alright? Which means that, you know, this rod is kind of more than 90,000. It's like 90,000 plus maybe 500,000 if you're the only one popping it. Or you could try to get lucky, get into a server where it's already happening, and then buy the rod yourself. You buy this rod at the same place where you buy the Nocturnal rod, and you know, you can pretty much get it in like that space, but it costs 90,000. The lure speed is 10, the luck is 60, the control is 0.06, the resilience is 6, and the max kg is 6,000. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest here. The only good thing about this rod is the fact that you can get Aurora mutations, but besides that, I'm going to be completely honest. I think it's a solid B. I think we'll start off with a solid B, alright? I think that the Aurora rod is a B tier. If you want to get it, I'm not going to hold it against you. But if you're someone like, you know, I'm not going to wait for that, fair enough. But I'm going to put it at a B tier. Alright, so I actually decided that we're going to just start from Moosewood and make our way up through the different areas just to make this a little bit less confusing. So, the second one that we're going to do is the flimsy rod. Now, let me try to find the flimsy rod. There it is. Okay, so the flimsy rod, I mean, it's 0 across the board. It has 0 lure, 0 luck, 0 control, 0 resilience. It's literally the base rod. And for that reason, I'm going to give it an F. I mean, you can't give it anything other than F. It is literally as bad as it gets. Alright? Sure, it has some stats that are technically better than others, but it's still trash. Alright? It's literally, it's terrible. Alright? So, I'm going to put that one at a solid F tier. The next rod on this list is the training rod. Now, the training rod, if we go over here, it has a lure speed of 10, a luck of -70, a control of 0.2, resilience of 20%, and a max kg of 9. This is terrible. Obviously the only good thing is the resilience, and that's about it. I mean, the control is also not bad, I'm not gonna lie. But the luck is terrible. It literally is a training rod. For the price of 300, it's not really that worth it. But it is like Okay, it's still dog shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's dog shit. I was gonna try to say that it's a D tier, but it's dog. Alright, it's not a good rod. Do not get this rod. Obviously, everybody's gonna get the flimsy rod because you get that at the start, but do not buy this rod. It's a waste of money. Unless you're obviously like really rich. Alright, the next rod up on the list is the plastic rod, as you can see right here. Now if we take a look, it has the price of 900 cash, which is 3 times the amount of this. It's got 10 lure speed, 15 luck, 0 control, 10 resilience, and a max kg of 100. Now, I am going to be honest as well. This is, as a beginner rod, right? As a beginner rod, for the price of 900 compared to the carbon rod, for the price of 900, I would say that this is, it's teetering on D or F for me. I think I'm gonna give it an F, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a higher F. I mean, flimsy rod has to be the worst. I'm gonna rank them based off of that. Okay, so we're starting off with a lot of Fs here, but it's gonna get a lot better as we go on. Speaking of a lot better, we have the next rod, which is the carbon rod. This is the one that a lot of people suggest, and for obvious reason. If we take a look, it has 2,000 cash as a price tag, but the lure speed is -10, the luck is 25, the control is 0.05, resilience is 10, and the max kg is 600. Now, the reason why people say to get this thing is mainly because of the kg. You're actually allowed to get decent fish and heavy-ish fish, and the luck is pretty good. The only bad thing about it is the -10 lure speed, but it's not that big of a deal considering you're getting more luck and you're just getting more kg. So the carbon rod is still not great, but it's a little bit less trash. So I'm gonna give it a solid D tier for right now. But if I'm talking about beginners for what you should buy, then it's probably at the B tier. But we're doing overall stats, and overall stats say D tier. Alright, next up on the list we have the long rod, as you can see right here. And if we take a look, the long rod has the price of 4,500. It has a lure speed of 20, luck of 30, control of -0.1, and a resilience of 0. And the max kg of 250. This is honestly just not good. And I'll tell you why. Even though these are pretty good, the one bad thing about this rod is the fact that it has negative control. Meaning, this thing is going to be flying across your screen like crazy considering it has no resilience. I mean, this thing sucks, alright? The long rod is going here, but obviously it's worse than the flimsy rod. I'm going to be completely honest. The long rod, for 4,500, if you're wasting your money on that, you need to be locked up, because I don't know what you're wasting your money on something like that for, because that is trash, alright? So that's getting a solid F- tier. Next up on the list, we have the fast rod. Now, I've actually never bought this rod, nor have I bought like really any of these, but the fast rod is at the same price of 4,500, but you have a lure speed of 45, which is actually pretty good. And you have minus luck though. You have -15 luck, but you have 0.05 control and -12 for the resilience. And you can hold 175 kg. So, as a rod for the price of 4,500, we got to take that into consideration, because that's, you know, compared to the other one, I do think it's better. I'm going to put this low D tier. I actually wouldn't like criticize you for buying it. I just think that it's not the smartest idea, but I'm going to give that a solid D. Alright, next up on this list, we have the Lucky Rod. Now, let's take a look at the Lucky Rod. So, Lucky Rod is at the price of 5,250, and it has -30 lure speed. It has 60 luck, 0.05 control, -12 resilience, and the weight of 175. Now we're starting to get into the category where we are getting things that I've actually seen people using. I've seen somebody using this rod. And I'm just gonna be honest, I do not know what made you buy this rod, because the lure speed is terrible. Sure, the luck is great, but like everything else, the lure speed, the resilience is just not great. But I do not think it's as bad as these, and for that reason, I am going to give the lucky rod. Is it better than the fast rod, or is it worse? I'm gonna be honest. I think it's worse than the fast rod. I think it's worse. Alright, I think it's worse. You guys can maybe say that I'm wrong, but this is my list, alright? So you don't get to decide that. First up for Roslet Bay, we have a classic, alright? We have the steady rod. I see people who are a high level who are still using this thing because of how much it can like hold, and I'll show you that in a second here. So the price is 7,000, alright? So we're starting to get a little bit expensive here, alright? We're talking like you need to be at least, I don't know, like level 12, 15, I don't know, whatever it is. The lure speed is minus 60, which is really bad, right? But everything else on this rod is really good. We have the luck of 35%, control 0.05, and the resilience of 30%. And the max kg is 100,000. Like, this rod is on steroids for how low the price is. And honestly, I think the steady rod, call me crazy, but I think the steady rod is an A tier. This is a rod that everybody must get. It is really good for early game, it's good for mid game, obviously not end game, but if you're in the early to mid game and you're like, man, I want to save my money for like the trident rod or something, use the steady rod until you get that trident rod. You know what I'm saying? So that, I would say, is an A tier for sure. Alright, next up on this list, we have the fortune rod, as you guys can see right here. Now, I have never bought this thing, so I'm kind of curious what it, you know, has to offer. Also, I forgot to mention, the steady rod has a passive where it makes the shake button bigger, so you're able to press it with a lot more ease, okay? So that I just wanted to add it. But the fortune rod. The fortune rod costs 12,750. It has a lure speed of minus 35, a luck of 110, control is 0, and resilience is negative 15. Alright? And the max kg is only 700. Now, I'm going to be honest, for the price and for what it's worth, this rod is kind of ass. Alright? I think obviously the only good thing on here is the luck, and even then, the luck is not going to make up for the absolute atrocious other stats that this thing has, okay? So, for that reason, considering the amount of money you're paying for this thing is an F. It's top of F, but it's an F, alright? This rod sucks. I'm gonna be honest. Do not buy this rod. You're wasting your money if you buy it. Alright, next up on the list, we have the Rapid Rod. Now, this is a rod that I have personally bought. As you can see, I'm in the game right now. No Life Rod got a new look, which is awesome. And it also got rebuffed because we bullied them to rebuff the rod. Thank you to everyone who was in there and bullying them, because, yeah, I really appreciate that. Because I was pissed when I saw that the No Life Rod got nerfed by a lot. So, that's cool. But the Rapid Rod, we actually do have. And let's take a look at the stats. So, the Rapid Rod has the stats of okay, so it's 14,000 cash, alright? But the lure speed is 72. 72, alright? So, you're going to be catching fish fast. Now, here's where it starts to get ass. The luck is minus 20, the control is 0, and the resilience is negative 20. And it can only hold 700 weight. This thing, I don't even know what you would use it for. I don't know any situation that it would be like, hey, I want to catch fish really fast and lose half of them because they snap my line. There is not really a situation for this rod. And for that reason, I think the Rapid Rod, I'm sorry, but you're going to join the Fortune Rod in F. Alright, I think you're actually worse than the Fortune Rod, to be honest. So, Rapid Rod, is not good. Alright, do not get the rapid rod. These are rods to avoid, my friends. Do not get them. Alright, now we're moving on to vertigo. And for the first rod, we already did the Aurora, so we're gonna do the nocturnal rod now. I wish I could read the kind of buffs that you get. So if I miss any buffs, I'm sorry. But I'm just going based off the pure stats of these rods. So as you can see, the lure speed is -10. Okay, also it costs 11,000, but the lure speed is -10. The luck is 70, control is 0, and resilience is 0. But the max KG is 2,000. Alright? So, as you can see, this rod is obviously very good for luck. But everything else, it's pretty much lacking. And I don't think it's actually the worst because it doesn't go into the negatives for the controller resilience. But in terms of like an actual rod that I think people should use, it's just really not that great. I think if we're going to rank the nocturnal rod, the best place that we can put this thing without creating any controversy I don't know. Wait. Hold up. Before I put it anywhere, I think a good place to put this is right here. Right there. At the bottom of D tier. Alright, it's not a good rod. Alright, just being completely transparent here. It's not a good rod. Do not buy it. Don't waste your money. Don't do that. Alright, now we're going to the depths. Alright, this is where things start to get juicy, spicy, delicious, all that good stuff. We have Rod of the Depths. Alright, now with the whopping price of 750,000, the lure speed is 65, the luck is 130, the control is 0.15, and the resilience is 10, with a max KG of 30,000. This rod is a rod that everybody should get, no matter who you are. It is obviously an S tier. The question is it the best rod in the game? Well, we'll have to wait and find out, alright? I would say Ghost Rod is 100%, or Rod of the Depths is 100% an S tier rod. Everybody should get it at some point in the game, and if you don't, how? I don't know how, because it's going to take you a long time to progress through the game without getting that rod. Next up, we're going to Terrapin Island, and we have the Magnet Rod. As you can see, the Magnet Rod has a price of 15,000. The lure speed is -10. The luck is 0. Control is 0.05. And the resilience is 0, with a max KG of 10,000. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Magnet Rod pretty much allows you to catch fish with a, like, you catch trash, pretty much. And you might think, okay, that sounds really bad, but it's actually not. You can get like driftwood with this thing, and you're gonna need driftwood to craft stuff. And there's just gonna be other things in the future that you're gonna need. But if I'm being completely honest here, I don't think you need to go out of your way to buy this rod anymore, because there's magnet bait that you can easily get. So if I had to rank this thing based on what the stats are showing me, this thing is a solid F tier, and I would actually say that it's worse than those. But I do think that I'm going to put it here, but it's still an F tier, okay? Also, I forgot to mention, Rod of the Depths has a ghost that catches a fish every few catches, so that's also really good. That just adds on to the S tier. Alright, now we're at the Keeper's Altar, and yeah, you can get this rod at the Keeper's Altar. It's called the King's Rod. Now, the King's Rod is a price of 120,000, -45 lure speed, luck is 55, control is 0.15, and the resilience is 35, with a max KG of infinity. Meaning, you can catch whatever you want with this thing, no matter the weights, no matter the size. I mean, that means the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. This thing has all around good stats except for the lure speed. And some people say to get this rod, I'm going to be honest, I don't think you should buy this rod. The only reason you would ever buy this is to catch a Megalodon, and even then, it's not really that worth it. I don't know where to rank it though. Is it worse? Okay, it's not worse than the Aurora rod, I'm going to be honest. I think the King's Rod is top of B tier, for sure. So, If you guys want to get this, I wouldn't blame you. Just know that it's very situational. And by situational, I mean for megalodons or any fish that's like above 30,000 kg. Alright, next up we are at the Arch. Now, I actually don't have the Destiny Rod. I don't know how you get it. But it has a price of 190,000. It has a lure speed of -10, a luck of 250, control is 0, and the resilience is 0, with a max kg of 70. Oh no, a max kg of 10,000. Sorry, I was reading this. Oh, I can actually get it though, which is pretty cool. But the Destiny Rod, if I'm being honest here, the only good thing is the luck. Everything else on this sucks. But because the luck is at a whopping 250, I think putting this thing at a solid C tier is where it belongs. Our first C tier at the very mid category. Because like I said, the only good thing is the luck. So I'm going to put that at C tier. I don't know if there's any buffs to this rod, but if there is, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe it should be higher, maybe it should be lower. I don't know. Next up, we got rods from the Traveling Merchant. And we have the Midas rod to start us out here. So the Midas rod is 55,000. The lure speed is 60. The luck is 10. The control is 0. And the resilience is -20%. With a max kg of 4,000. Which means you are going to be having a rough time catching fish. Even though you are catching fish fast. And you have a chance of getting the Midas mutation. I'm gonna be honest, for 55,000, this thing is just not worth it, okay? I'm gonna put this top of D tier, but it is not worth 55,000, okay guys? Do not waste your money on this thing. If it was 25k, it would be up for debate, but 55,000 is just not worth the kind of stuff that you get with this thing. Next up, we have the Mythical Rod. Now things are getting a little interesting here. So the Mythical Rod is 110,000, the lure speed is 0, the luck is 45, control is 0.05, and resilience is 0, with a max kg of 2,000. Now, you might be looking at this thing and be like, wow, this thing sucks for the price. But it has a passive where you have the chance to catch a mythical fish. Now I'm actually going to show you guys because I have that rod. If we take a look at it here, if we can find it. So I have Hasty on this rod, and you have a chance of catching a mythical fish. And if we type in enchant relic, we have a mythical enchant relic. I got really lucky and actually got one of these things. And it looks pretty cool, as you can see. And this thing will sell for way more value than it would if it was a regular enchant relic, right? A regular one sells for 3,500. If you were to sell this, I wouldn't be surprised if you got anywhere from like 10 to 12,000. So it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, the Mythical Rod, a lot of people love it, and I can understand the love for this rod. But the question is, where do I put this thing? If I am being honest here, it's either B or A tier. It's B or A. I'm gonna put it bottom of A tier. I think that the Mythical Rod is a bottom of A tier, alright? It's good, alright? The Mythical Enchant just makes this thing so good. If it didn't have it, well, obviously this thing would be trash. But for 110,000, I think it's better than the King's Rod. It has more situational use, and I just think it's going to be a lot better than the King's Rod. Alright, now we're going to Desolate Deep. And as you can see, we have the Reinforced Rod. The Reinforced Rod is 20,000 with the lure speed of 0, luck of 25, control of 0.05, and resilience of 0 with a max kg of infinite. Alright, another infinite kg one. Now, this thing super sucks, as you can see from the stats. But the only thing that actually makes this good is because you can fish in the brine pool. But even then, it's pretty trash. This thing is not good. But the only reason I'm going to put it in D tier is because of that reason. But the question is, I really think that it's here in D tier. I think it's, in terms of money and stats, I think that right there is a good spot for the resilient or reinforced rod. Alright, next up we have the trident rod, as you can see here. And the trident rod is 150,000 with a lure speed of 20, luck of 150, control of 0, and resilience of 0, with a max kg of 6,000. Now, as you can see down here, it says you need 100% Bystry of Desolate Deep, which is true. You also need 5 enchant relics as well to get into the area. Now, somebody else can open it for you, which is obviously really cool. Also, if you guys want to join my live streams, you guys can join the live streams. Or if you came from the live streams, what's up? As a rod, this thing is really good. It can catch Atlantean fish as well. And I'm going to be completely honest. I think that it is top of A tier. I don't think it's S tier, okay? People overhype the shit out of this rod, and I do not understand why. It's not a bad rod, but I do not think it's worthy of S tier. I think having it at A tier is a fair spot for the trident rod, for sure. Next up, we're at Forsaken Shores, and we have the Scurvy rod. Now, the Scurvy rod costs 50,000. It has a lure speed of 15. It has luck of 50, control of 0, resilience of 15, and a max kg of 2,000. Now, it doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure that this rod has a buff where you have a higher chance of catching treasure maps. I thought I saw somewhere where somebody said that it had a higher chance of you catching treasure maps, but I think that might be a different rod. It's like it literally said that it's good across the board, and for that reason, I think I'm going to give it top of C tier. Top of C tier for sure. For the price of 50k, I mean, it's not that bad. Like, it's really not that bad. So I'm gonna put it at C. Next up we have is Ancient Isle. Now, Ancient Isle, is this the last one on the list? Okay, we're missing a lot of rods, but we have Ancient Isle, and as you can see, we have the Phoenix rod, and the price is 40,000. But this rod is insanely good for how much it's worth. 55 lure speed, luck of 35%, control of 0.05, resilience of -10, and then the max kg is 4,000. This rod is good. For the price of 40,000, this rod is really, really good. And I'm tempted to actually make it more worth than the King's rod. It's a top of B tier, okay? This rod is really good. If you guys are out there right now and you are trying to progress through the game, get the Phoenix rod. It's at Ancient Isles. Look up a video. It's in the cave. It's really easy to get. You just need 40,000 cash and a boat to get over there. The other rod we have here is a bit of a letdown, but it's the Stone rod. The Stone rod has a price of 3,000, so very cheap, but the lure speed is -25. The luck is 10, the control is 0, resilience of 5, and the max kg is 900. I mean, this thing kind of just super sucks. It's not that great. Let's see, do I have it? I actually don't know if I bought this rod or not, because I'm like, wow, this thing is kind of trash. I didn't buy it, but it sucks. Yeah, don't buy this rod. I don't think it's terrible, but if I had to rank it somewhere, it's not going high. I think this thing is a little bit better than Plastic Rod. So, F tier it goes. Another F tier. Alright, now we're going into the misc rods category, okay? So, let's take a look at this. We have the Magma Rod. As you guys can see, obtainable by completing the Orc's quest. The lure speed is -70, the luck is 15, the control is 0, and resilience is 0 with a max kg of 1,200. I'm straight up. And now the only thing you can do with this rod is actually fish in the volcano, but at that point you're better off getting the reinforced rod. I think that's the right place it belongs. This thing super sucks, but okay, it's not worse than the long rod and flimsy. Okay, I'm being a little bit harsh here. But the Magma Rod sucks ass. Okay, this thing is... Actually, no, it's worse than the Flimsy Rod, I would say. No, it's not worse. I'm lying. Okay. It's there. Alright, this thing sucks. Don't get it. I mean, you can get it because it's free. All you gotta do is a quest, but it's not that great. The next one we have is the Fungal Rod. Now the fungal rod has a lure speed of -10, a luck of 45, control of 0, and resilience of 0 with a max kg of 200. It's a little bit better, but it's still shit. It's another quest rod where you have to complete the quest at Mushgrove from this like little mushroom guy. This rod, if I'm being honest, it's right there. It's an F, but I think it's behind Magnet Rod in terms of usability and how much time it's also going to take. You need to complete, or no, you need to catch an alligator, a legendary alligator to get that rod. Alright, next up we have the No Life Rod. You guys already know my opinion on this thing, but I'm going to say it anyways. So, unlocked 1, level 500 is reached. It has a lure speed of 90. It has luck of 105. It has a control of 0.23 and the resilience is 10 with a weight of infinity. This rod is amazing and it's better than this rod. You also, on top of this, it has the same effects that the Trident has where it does the little shing, you know, to add progress. And it also has the chance to catch hexed mutations. And the hexed mutations, you're going to be getting a lot of them, which means a lot of money, which means you're going to progress a lot faster in this game, which means it's just better. All right. So S tier is where it goes, right at the top. I love this thing. It's just so good. It's so good all around. And yeah, 100% grind for those levels to get to at least 500. Next up, we have, in my opinion, the most underrated rod in this entire game. The Sunken Rod. The Sunken Rod is obtainable from chests. Now, I got very lucky and I didn't even have to buy the Trident Rod or any rod after I went from the Steady Rod to the Sunken Rod to Rod of the Depths. Alright? I got so lucky. I got it out of my third chest. My first chest that I ever opened, I got an enchant relic. The second one I've ever opened, I got an Aurora totem. And the third one that I opened, I got the Sunken Rod. I was freaking out. I was like, holy shit. I'm just insane at this game. As you can see, the lure speed is 30. The luck is 150. The control is 0.15. And the resilience is 15 with a max kg of 5,000. This thing is amazing. Now, I do not call this controversial, but I think it's better than the Trident Rod. I think Sunken Rod is better than Trident. I don't think it's S tier because actually it got a buff. I forgot about that. You have a chance. It's a 5% chance to get a sunken fish. And every 10 catches gain a 25% higher chance to pull a treasure map. Guys, it's S tier. It convinced me. It's an S tier rod in the game. I'm just gonna be completely honest here. It's S tier. Get this rod. I don't think it's better than these by a long shot, but it's still an S tier, okay? So, grind for those treasure maps and try to get this thing, because it's really, really good. Alright, now we have two of the most newest ones in the game, and that being the Antler Rod. So the Antler Rod is obtainable by Advent Calendar after 5 days. So that actually just passed, and we just got that rod. Or no, it didn't just pass, it passed a while ago, but it has a lure speed of 25. It has a luck of 45. It has a control of 0.02 and a -4 resilience with 200 max kg. It's very average, but it's a free rod, and at that point you can't even complain. You also have the chance to catch Jollyfish from this thing, from anywhere. And in that case, I honestly would give this thing a solid B tier. It's a solid B tier. Alright, so try to get your hand on this thing. Pay Robux if you have to. I think it's only like 19 if you missed the day, but I don't really know. The next rod is the North Star Rod. The North Star Rod is obtainable by Advent Calendar after 9 days. We actually just got this rod today. As of recording this video, I got it like 20 minutes ago. It has a lure speed of 5. It has luck of 30, 0.04 control, 12 8% resilience and a max kg of 875. And there's no buffs on this rod. There's no buffs. It's worse than that, and I actually probably would drop this thing below Midas rod. I think having it here is a solid place. A solid, solid D tier. Alright, so I actually want to save the craftable rods for last because it's probably going to be the hottest takes you guys have ever seen. Actually, it's not going to be hot takes. It's going to be reasonable takes. But anyways, we have the haunted rod. Now, I do not have the haunted rod. Never got it because I didn't start playing till later. But you got it from completing all the quests, and it has a lure speed of 0, a luck of 50, control 0.05, resilience of 0, and a max kg of 1000. The only good thing about this rod that I can see is the luck, and for that reason, I think it is a very, very mid rod. I think it's actually right there. That's the best place that I can put this rod. Alright, so I'm going to put it at the bottom of D tier. Next up, we have the relic rod, which we all thought had way more potential than it actually did, and it turned out to be dog shit. Was obtainable during the archaeological hunt event after Dr. Phineas's quest, and the cash is 8,000. And the lure speed is 20, the luck is 25, the control is 0.05, and the resilience is 20 with a max kg of 2,500. If I'm being honest, this is a very well-rounded rod in the game. Okay, here it is. Here's the relic rod. So it's super well-rounded, but I don't think that it's better. I just don't. I think it's gonna go here. I think it's better than the carbon rod, but I still don't think it's that great. Okay, so I mean, you can't even get it anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so next up is the Buddy Bond rod, and this rod is obtained after successfully inviting a friend via Bob. Now, this is where if you invite a friend from the Bob guy at Moosewood, it's pretty easy. I actually haven't done it yet, but yeah, that's how you can get that. There's the luck, or sorry, wow, this thing. So the resilience is 0, luck is 5, control is 0.05, or it's 0, and the lure speed is 0 with a max kg of 300. This thing super sucks. And if I had to be completely honest, where is this thing? Oh, Buddy Rod. This thing is just about as bad as the Flimsy Rod, but it is a tiny little bit better. So for that reason, we're gonna put it at top of Flimsy Rod, which is at F tier anyways. Alright, now we have two new ones that were just added in this update. We have the Candy Cane Rod and the Astral Rod, but let's go to the Candy Cane. So the Candy Cane Rod was obtained during Fishman's 2024 event in Santa's workshop, and it had the price of, or it has the price of 1,500. It has the luck of 25, it has lure speed of 10, control is 0.01, and the resilience is -2, with the max kg of 150. This thing, but you also have a chance of catching festive fish. For that reason, we have it right here. For this reason that you can catch festive fish, it's right there. I still think it's worse. Actually, no, it's probably better than the Midas Rod if I'm being honest. But I think it's right there as a solid, you know, solid tier. Solid D tier. Our next up, we have the Astral Rod. Sorry. Was obtainable using code ThankYouFollowers2. You can still get this by the time I'm recording this video. And as you can see, the lure speed is 10, the luck is 30, the control is 0.05, and the resilience is 5% with the max kg of 1,000. It's an all-around good rod, and considering it's completely free, this thing is goated for being completely free, and I'm going to put that in B tier. All you got to do is put in this code, and you have a rod that is outstandingly great. Like, I don't know why you... this thing's just awesome. It looks cool. It's really good. So 100% get this rod right now if you guys can, and if you're just starting as well. Alright, next up we have the Robux rods. Boo, these suck ass. Let's take a look at them. So 99 Robux from the Fisher's starter pack. I don't remember ever seeing this being offered to me, but it has a lure speed of 10, it has luck of 10, control of 0.05, and a resilience of 5, with a max kg of 100. Considering you are paying 99 Robux for this thing, you are wasting your money. Where is this thing? I actually don't think it's here. Okay, it's not here, but it's an F tier, okay? Let's get that straight. It's not here, but it's an F tier. We also don't have this one in there, but it's the Frost Warden Rod. And this you need to pay 799 Robux from the limited time winter bundle. Now you also get more than this. You get a jet ski that you can ride on the water, and I'm pretty sure you get a limited bobber too. So it's not like the end of the world, but let's take a look at these stats for $10 worth of Robux. It's a lure speed of 10, luck of 45, control of 0.05, and a resilience of 15 with the max kg of 2,200. For the price of $10, this thing sucks. This is honestly at the bottom of F tier. Paying $800 for a rod that just sucks. Oh wait, also I just saw this thing. Let me put that there. But yeah, it sucks. Do not get this thing. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Don't get this rod. It sucks. Okay, don't get this rod, and don't get the other rod. Well, I mean, most people probably won't be able to get this, but don't get this rod. It sucks. All right, we have the last category in the game, which are the craftable rods. Now I'm gonna save these for last. We're gonna start all the way from the beginning with the precision rod. Now the precision rod, you need 7,500 cash, and you're also gonna need a bunch of different items for this thing. We can actually go take a look right now. For those of you who don't know where you craft these rods, you can actually craft these rods at Ancient Isles. You gotta go down here in the little cave in the waterfall area, and there's a whole little ritual thing you gotta do here, and that will open up this door to where you can craft rods. When this thing first came out, let's just say there's a lot of people who were pissed because this place, it was terrible. Not only was it really hard and very costly to get in here, but the rods that you could make were so trash that most of them have gotten insanely buffed since, you know, people have been complaining. So first up, we have the precision rod. Now if we take a look at this thing, it has the lure speed of 20, the luck of 150, the control of 0, and the resilience of 5%, with the max kg being 12,000. Now, on top of that, you need amethyst, okay? You need 2 mythical driftwood and 1 magic thread, which magic threaded and amethyst are both really easy. But 2 mythical driftwood? Are you out of your mind? I spent almost 2 million cash just to even get 2 mythical driftwood. It is ridiculous. This thing, for how much it cost, let me see this thing. It is going an F, alright? Bottom, actually, no, I have more respect for people who actually pay for it. Who don't pay for rods. Not that, like, if you're collecting rods, that's fine, but yeah, the pay to win rods suck. And that's not even pay to win, it's pay to lose. You're just losing all the time. Next up we have is the wisdom rod. Now, I did craft this thing, alright? But, it's not worth it anymore. There used to be an insane XP glitch, which is why I bought it, and I gained like 60 levels overnight, and then it got patched. But it's called the wisdom rod. It has the lure speed of 10%, luck of 35%, control of 0.05, resilience of 0, and a max kg of 2,000. Now, you have, let's see, bonus after 5 successful. Yeah, so basically what it does is it takes the fish that you just caught, and it will go through a random generator thing, and it will give you on top of that the value of 70% of that fish in terms of XP, or it will give you 100% of it. It will give you 100% of XP for that fish. So instead of getting, like, let's say, 18,000 for a goldfish, you would instead get, 36,000. Around 36,000. But it cost 1 ruby, it cost 2 mythical driftwood, and 1 magic thread. This thing is not, it's not good anymore, okay? I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. It's not good anymore, but I don't think it's entirely shit. I'm gonna put it there. Alright, next up we have the resourceful rod, which has a lure speed of 15, luck of 20, control of -0.01, resilience of 0, and a max kg of 1,000, I think that says. Yes, 1,000. So, is this thing any good? Well, let's find out. Doubles the effects of all baits, enhancing your fishing experience and increasing the efficiency of every catch. This thing sucks for the price. 3 amethyst, 2 lunar driftwood, and magic thread. This thing sucks. Don't get the resourceful rod. It's just not worth it. The resourceful rod is honestly, for how much you have to pay for this thing, it's not good. It's going in F tier. Alright? Call me crazy, but it's going in F tier. The next rod we have is the seasonal rod. Now, the seasonal rod has a lure speed of 20, luck of 35%, control of 0.03, resilience of 10%, and a max kg of 4,000. Now, this has so many layers to it, but as you can see on the side here, you pretty much, if you catch a fish with a winter mutation, it sells for 2.5x. If you get one with summer mutation, it has a 25% size. If you catch in spring, it has a 3x sell price. And you might think that sounds really good, and it kind of does. But it's not a good overall rod to just use in general, especially for the price. 2 opal, 3 frozen driftwood, and 1 magic thread. This thing is just not that great, but it's also not that bad. For that reason, the season rod, this thing is going in a solid, I do think it's better than the candy cane rod, but I think a D tier is, actually no, I'm being too mean. I actually do think it's pretty good. Like, it is better than this rod, but I'm talking about price as well. Alright, bottom B, alright? I'm being a little harsh, I'm sorry. Next up, we have the Riptide rod. The Riptide rod fills its tide meter by 20% with each perfect cast. At max, it enters high tide for 3 casts, boosting rarity chance by 30% and bite speed by 25%. Lure speed is 20, luck is 25, control is 0.05, resilience is 5%, and the max kg is 3,500. This thing sucks. You need 3 ruby, 3 Atlantean driftwood, which is arguably the hardest driftwood to get in the game, and you need a magic thread, which doesn't matter. That thing's really easy. But besides that, this thing sucks. I don't know what is up with these craftable rods. I don't know who was making these rods, but these things suck. It's probably better than these two though, but it still sucks, and I'm putting it in F tier for that reason. Alright, next up we have the Voyager rod, which has a lure speed of 25%, luck of 85%, control of 0, resilience of 10, and a max kg of infinite. Alright? A rod forged by an ancient civilization capable of mass destruction. All fish have a 25% chance to be fossilized. Lasers fish with an orbital cannon. That sounds fucking awesome. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds really cool. This is a lot better than the rod we looked at before. But you need 3 opal, 3 voidwood, and you need 1 magic thread. The voidwood isn't actually that hard to get, but it is kind of annoying. But it's not bad, and honestly, I think I got an idea of where I want to put this thing. I think that it is below seasonal rod. Next up, we have the Lost rod. Now, this is where things are getting hefty. So the lure speed is 15%, luck is 25%, control is 0.08, resilience is 8%, and the max kg is 55,000. After 6 perfect catches in a row, it triggers a special mode that boosts the rod's luck by 150% for the next 3 casts. This thing is ass! What is this? Who's making this? Nobody, and I mean nobody, is gonna want to use this thing. Not only do you need 6 perfect catches in a row, but it only increases it by 150, making it 175% luck. Whoop-de-doo, like, this thing sucks. Who would ever get this? And not only that, but they add insult to injury. 3 lapis lazuli. I haven't even gotten that out of a meteor yet. You need 3 ancient wood, which I'm pretty sure you can get at, I mean, I would think Ancient Isles, but I don't actually know. And then you need 1 ancient thread, which isn't that hard to get. But Are you kidding me? This thing is a super stinker. This thing sucks. It's gonna go here. I still think it's better than Robux rods, but because you're actually paying real money for it. But yeah, it's going in the F tier as well. You can see that the craftable rods, they're not really holding their weight for how much you're paying for it, and that's kind of a common theme. And if we were to go back to when everything first released, they would probably all be an F, but they buffed them since. Next up, we have the Celestial Rod, which has a lure speed of 35%, luck of 60, control of 0.07, resilience of 5%, and a max kg of infinite. Now, after catching 85 fish, summon celestial powers for 5 minutes, boosting plus 50% luck, plus 30% lure speed. Caught fish also get the celestial mutation and 30% XP on them. I might have to try this rod. I'm not gonna lie, it actually sounds kind of fire. But here's the problem. You need 3 moonstone, which is the hardest gem to get in the entire game. You also need 3 moonwood, which is the hardest driftwood I think to get in the game. And you also need an ancient thread. But as a rod, we gotta be fair here. I think the celestial rod, based off from what I've seen, it is gonna go right here. Solid B tier, right in the middle, between everything else. Alright, next up we have is the Krampus rod, and I actually just crafted this thing, and it's kind of interesting. But I would craft this rod because I'm pretty sure it's a limited rod. I think. Maybe not, I have no idea. But the lure speed is 30%, the luck is 15%, the control is 0.15, and the resilience is 8%, with a max kg of infinite. Haunted with the evil spirit of Krampus himself. Every 10 catches gain a random temporary buff. So you might be thinking, what is that buff? You can get lucky 5 for 3 minutes, you can get lure speed 3 I think for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. It's just, I thought it was going to be a lot better, but it really wasn't. It's kind of a letdown. It's not that much to make though. It's 3 icicles, really easy to get. 1 magic thread, extremely easy to get. And then we have the festive driftwood, which some people are kind of saying like it's hard, but I only spent like 2,000 cash on appraising and I got it right away. Now, it was during a mutation surge, okay? So if you're going to try to get this thing, do it during a mutation surge or you're wasting your money. And I believe that about anybody who appraises their stuff. But as a rod, we are going to rank this sucker. I think it's better than the candy cane rod. I'm going to put it at top of D. I just don't think it's that great. It's not a good rod. If you want to use it, all power to you. Alright, all power to you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are to the final 2 rods in the game. Alright, final 2 rods. We do not have these rods because we are not a high enough level. But this is where things get spicy. Alright, very, very spicy. Very, very juicy, magnificent, wonderful spice. Alright, so let's take a look at these rods. Starting with the Rod of the Eternal King. Rod of the Eternal King cost 250,000. And you need 2 golden pearls, which I actually have 3 of them. I grinded for like 4 hours and I managed to get 3. So you need 2 golden pearls. You need, I think it's either 2 or 3 infernal driftwood, and then you need a lunar thread. So if you have all those, you should be fine. But if we take a look at this thing, yeah, the level requirement is 650. The lure speed on this thing is 50. The luck is 160. The control is 0.175, and the resilience is 15% with the max kg of 75,000. Now you guys might be thinking, is this rod really that good? And yeah, it is. First of all, you can get the greedy enchant on this thing, which is absolutely insane. It sells for a lot. And if you get hasty on this thing, this rod is fucking nuts. Alright, this rod is insanely good. This is the rod I've been trying to grind for. I mean, it looks really cool and it is really good. And every, I'm not sure how many catches it is or how many perfect catches or whatever, but you get a royal escort, which I'm pretty sure boosts your luck by an insane amount. I mean, this thing is just absolutely insane. I mean, it looks so cool. If I had to rank this thing based off the videos that I saw, it seemed like it was better than the no life rod. But I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure that this is a top of S tier rod. And last but certainly not least, we have Rod of the Forgotten Fang. Now, you need 300,000 cash. You need to be level 750, which is the max level that you can be right now in the game. And the lure speed is 78. The luck is 145. The control is 0.22. The resilience is 25, and the KG is infinite. And I think it's every 3 perfect catches, it spawns a megalodon, which catches you a random fish from wherever you are fishing, and that fish is going to have I think a higher weight. It might have been different. It might be different now. But the question is this thing better than Rod of the Eternal King? Oh, that is a good question. Is it better than Rod of the Eternal King? I have not seen enough of this rod to decipher whether or not it is better. And for that reason, I made my case. It could be better because it did get a buff this update, and that might mean that it is better. But from what I know, from what I've seen, this rod has been outstanding in terms of XP, money, I mean just everything in general. So the #1 rod in the game, in Zongi's opinion, is Rod of the Eternal King. I think that this rod is fantastic. Or honestly, like I said, these two are probably at the same level now, but I could be wrong. And anything in S tier are rods that I think everybody should own. Anything in A tier, I think are rods that everybody should own as well. B tier are rods that you decide whether or not you want to get it for certain situations. C tier are like very mid rods. If you want to get, they're okay. D tier are for rods that are just shit, don't get them. And F is for all the rods that super suck in the game. And there's a lot of Fs in this game, which isn't good. You don't want a lot of Fs in the game. But other than that, I mean, obviously I love Fisch, I'm not gonna lie. That's obviously why I'm making this video and why I made this tier list. But here are my honest thoughts of every rod that's in the game. If you are using a rod that is C tier or below, change your rod, because I just don't think that you're using a good rod right now. That is going to be it for today's video. It was a bit of a long video. It was a long video to record. I think I've been recording for like an hour. But yeah, it was very, very fun. I like ranking all these different rods and stuff in the game. And you guys can obviously have your own opinions on the rods, but I stated my opinion, and I think that the Rod of the Eternal King is just the best rod in the game, or Forgotten Fang, which it should be, okay? That's how it should be, because you need so much stuff even just to get that. It's ridiculous. So I'm glad that's how it is. But like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think the best rod in the game is. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. We're going to be posting a lot more videos, so be sure to check all the videos out that we're going to be posting. Also, join the Discord, and I will let you guys know when I'm going live, when I'm posting videos, and all that great stuff. But anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Take care, and peace.